So what has Peter Lim actually done for Singapore football otherwise? Actually, unlike the other three, not very much. His main focus is now mainly on Valencia, where he sees it as a profit earning machine. And unfortunately, it has not turned out very well for Valencia. While Erick Thohir was able to eventually sell Inter Milan for a profit to the now defunct Suning Group, where the club were in a better place than where it was when he first took over. Okay, so now we turn our focus on Singaporean billionaire and Valencia owner Peter Lim, where he is concerned. Unlike TMJ, Madam Pang, and Erick Thohir, his contributions in Singapore football are actually minimal at best. And actually, his contributions in Singapore football, as we know, come through the Singapore Olympic Foundation, where he donated millions for the Olympic scholarship program to promising young athletes, and also provide trips to Valencia for children who aspire sporting careers. This is done as part of a community project, but not directly to Singapore Football or Football Association of Singapore. Although in 2017, one of the teams involved in the 2017 Football Association of Singapore Council elections, they actually approached him and spent 2 hours with him talking about football and how he was able to contribute. It was understood that Peter Lim was keen but eventually declined, and his concerns were more towards his own reputation within the Singapore establishment. Yes, he's a very rich man, but unfortunately he's not very well liked within the establishment. I mean, they do need him for his wealth, but given his previous, where he was involved in a very high profile divorce case, and also won a very expensive legal battle against Raffles Town Club, the more conservative members of the Singapore establishment are actually quite cautious in getting Peter Lim very actively involved in many things, and I think Peter Lim himself is very aware of that, so he actually unfortunately decided to decline to actively throw his lot at the team that actually approached him and granted a 2-hour audience in that period. So what has Peter Lim actually done for Singapore football otherwise? Actually, unlike the other three, not very much. His main focus is now mainly on Valencia, where he sees it as a profit earning machine. And unfortunately, it has not turned out very well for Valencia. While Erick Thohir was able to eventually sell Inter Milan for a profit to the now defunct Suning Group, where the club were in a better place than where it was when he first took over. Unfortunately, Peter Lim is very keen to use Valencia more like his own, I think you can say, cash cow or money profit. That's why the Valencia fans in recent years, they have actually been calling for him to resign, for the all Singaporean board to actually leave, and actually to the point where two Spanish fans of the club have been actually are currently detained in Singapore for protesting outside Peter Lim's private house here. So this is where the dissatisfaction with how he actually runs Valencia as a whole has stirred animosity within the fan group, because Peter Lim has used Valencia as where they get promising young players on the cheap from other minor European clubs, and they eventually sell them for profit. I think this is how Peter Lim uses Valencia as his own operation agenda. Unlike Erick Thohir, yes, he's the co-owner of Oxford United. Yes, he probably sees promise and profit, but Erick actually has managed to get Marcelo Ferdinand, who used to play for the Belgian club, to actually be part of the team there. And this has allowed Marcelino to extend his European playing career. But for Singapore, no youth team, no Singaporean youth has been given an attachment at the Valencia youth team, even though Valencia youth teams have actually come to Singapore to take part in international youth tournaments in the GSL 7s, where they were dominant in 2024, winning both the men's, boys, and girls elite tournaments. Where he's concerned, his investment is actually very minimal, and he has his own concerns where it is where he wants it to be. He does not probably have a clear direction on how he wants local football to be run, and probably acknowledges himself that he's probably not the right man to push our football to greater heights. So that's the big difference between him and the other three.